Hello.
And
Welcome
to Film
Bastards.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to episode 510 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
And
Ian Loring, hello folks.
it is literally, 4 days since we last recorded?
We're just very committed, aren't we?
Yeah, we're very committed. We're recording on a Sunday, which is unusual for us. But this is due to holidays and bits. But we didn't want to miss a show. But we've still got an amount of films that we've crammed in. So we've got The Creator, we have Saw X, and we have No One Will Save You. That I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning and remembered that we had to watch. You didn't get up, did you? But I did. Got up at 7 this morning to watch it.
Oh, I'm sorry for not getting up at 3 a.m.
I didn't get up at 3 a.m. I got up at 7.
It feels like a film that Becky would have vibed
It
with as
really
well.
does
That's
as
a
well,
shame.
doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm thinking it might be my airplane movie.
I think it could be your airplane movie. But yeah, I do. I was watching it going, I think Becky would quite like this.
Bex, I'm going to be honest then, not to be rude, but I recommend that you go out of the room while we review that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we get spoilery, and it's a film
It's
spoilery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else have we got? We've got a couple of trailers. I think we might actually have a couple of trailers.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll have the usual bits and bats. I have a couple of what I've been watching. Becky's watched a lot of Saw, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you can finish off Saw. Yeah.
Yes. So we've still got stuff there, even though it was only 4 days since we last.
Yeah, I've
recorded.
got a couple as well, actually,
Yeah.
weirdly enough, yeah.
Nice. So we are a Pod Syndicate podcast. Go listen to our friends' shows. Yeah, you know what they are, but just go listen to them. Ian, what's been happening? What's been happening in the movie world?
Like you say, it's only been a few days. There's obviously still a lot of talk about strikey stuff. So, SAG-AFTRA are going to be meeting with the producers union or guild, whatever, tomorrow. But there's gonna be a fair bit of back and forth. Most likely, there's probably not going to be anything going for a little while there. But so. I suppose there's that, really. I don't know, actually. Like I say, it's only been a few days, unless there's anything that comes to mind.
No, it's only been a few days, and it does seem like, we've had limited movie news because, there's not an awful lot has been happening because of strikes and things like that. So, moving swiftly on then, trailers. There has been a couple, actually, hasn't there?
I can think of one, but go ahead.
Toxic Avenger teaser trailer.
Yeah, okay.
Has happened. A movie that I think everyone forgot about until it literally premiered the other day. It looks like a Trauma Toxic Avenger movie, so I will watch it. Am I pumped and looking forward to it? I'm not really sure.
It is going to make no money.
Yes, it is going to be well loved by those who see it. But those who see it will be limited. Is what I will say.
It had its world premiere at Fantastic Fest.
Yeah.
It played, and I have seen no fucking reaction to it whatsoever.
No, it's an odd one.
What surely they haven't fucking NDA'd the audience of a public festival. It's odd. There is, I'll just Google it now just in case. But I swear there has been nothing.
I've seen limited other than people enjoyed it.
Fucking IGN's got a review up, 6 out of 10.
That's pretty good for that movie.
Yeah.
Macon Blair's had an interesting career.
Yeah, pops up in fucking Oppenheimer, directs a Toxic Avenger film.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's an odd one, really. You know, it came from us in Blue Ruin, which is a really good movie. Has been in a few bits, and then just turns up in Oppenheimer and Toxic Avenger in the same year that he also wrote and directed. Fair enough. Go on.
Slightly more grown-up Jacob Tremblay freaks me out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good cast. You know, Jane Levy, Macon Blair's in it, Elijah Wood, Julie Davies, Kevin Bacon, Jacob Tremblay, Peter Dinks. Yeah. And then, what was the other one we had, Ian?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's going to be fun enough, that. Yeah, alright, fine. Argyle. So we talked briefly about, like, the teaser for the trailer that came out. And then the trailer came out. And, yeah, I mean, the cat looks like it will be alright, so that's something. Yeah, I mean, it looks like fun. You know, it's Matthew Vaughn, like, trying to kickstart some relatively fresh IP again, which is nice.
Yeah, it's got a really twisted mind as well, so there is that.
Yeah.
Oh God! Did it say that in the trailer?
It just says it on the poster at the top of the poster from the twisted mind of Matthew Vaughn. Yeah. And the thing there is, I would never say that he's twisted, and he didn't write it.
He's just I mean, where's that come from then?
No idea.
Madly.
What's that fucking controversial shit he had to do in the Golden Circle? Did he have to, like, eat out a girl to plant, like, a tracer on her or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Or shag a girl who wasn't his girlfriend or something.
There was something. There's always something a little bit
because there was
like
something
that,
where, like, people really turned against.
Oh no! It was the
anal
joke that kept on repeating itself throughout it.
Ah, yeah, okay. But then The King's Men has got one of the great mid-credit scenes of all time, which does just feel like Matthew Vaughn absolutely taking the piss.
Yep. The thing is, I'm looking forward to this because it looks fun. Sam Rockwell's fun. Everybody in it is quite fun. You know, you had me at John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that it looks like they kind of get to do the outlandish spy stuff in the kind of, like, almost like film within a film. And then also have, like, a Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard, will they, won't they, thriller thing. Sure, sign me up.
It looks more straight up comedy than some of the other ones, which are kind of like action comedies. This looks more straight up comedy that has action in it, and I'm kind of I'm up for that.
And Apple are playing this so fucking smart at the moment, where I'd like the Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon trailers are on a lot now, and then you've got Argyle as well. And the way that they are like, look, we will co-finance these films with you studios, and then, you know, we can get a theatrical release, we can get buzz about the films. It makes the product look better, and then like a month, 2 months after, it can be on Apple TV Plus, and it makes our service look fucking amazing. You know, like in like the early next year, where it's going to be. Yeah, you can watch Killers of the Flower Moon, Argyle, Napoleon, just all through Apple TV. That will be ace. And then if these films are hits, they'll make some money as well. And let's face it, like giving Ridley Scott 150 million to make a fucking Napoleon film is literally back of the sofa shit for Apple.
That's it. It's they've given Scorsese 150 million to make Killers of the Flower Moon. Like you say, it's not a lot to them, and their kind of idea, Apple TV's idea of going, right, we're not gonna buy the rights to anything. We're not gonna say that we're gonna have this. We might buy a studio at some point. Is what kind of how they're looking at it. But also at the same time, just going, we'll just throw out. Our plan is to throw out sort of 5 or 6 big hits a year that will be available on Apple TV, and also have. The TV shows they have. Read a rumour of a thing saying that they're looking at the Apple TV are looking at buying the rights to, or have helped fund the Abyss 4K. So it might end up going...
Apple have.
Yeah. Saying that Apple helped out with like some... I don't think it was funding or helped out with something to do with it. And that it might end up on Apple TV. And it's kind of like in between where it's going to end up now.
Wow, great.
Yeah. But apparently that is literally coming before the end of the year now.
Yeah, no, there was a screening, wasn't there? James Cameron was interviewed about it. And Titanic just got announced for 4K as well. So... yeah, True Lies would probably be not far behind. But it just to finish on the Apple point, it's the fact as well that they seem to be studio agnostic. So, like Killers of the Flower Moon, Paramount, Napoleon, Columbia / Sony, Argyle, Universal. They're just like, essentially, we will work with you as almost like a production company for this stuff, but we get the rights to stream these. Now, I mean, it would be interesting if that, I don't think they ever would, but if they were to team up with Disney and, you know, how that would work. I suppose this Abyss thing is maybe a small case in point there. But, you know, I mean, like, we have Peacock over here, kind of, but it's just, like, almost like part of your Sky subscription.
Yeah.
So it's not really a going concern. Paramount and Universal don't have their own streaming services. So, you know, they get the cachet of working with Apple on these things. I mean, Paramount have got like a proper Oscar botherer in Killers of the Flower Moon. Columbia may do with Napoleon. It's just wins all over the fucking place. It's super, super, super smart. And just so much less financially risky than the kind of shit Amazon Prime and Netflix do. But at the same time, Apple also have an absolute shit ton of money to start with, so they do have a head start. But I love it more for them. And just the fact that it's like, yes, you can have a big screen release. It just makes our product look better. Do it.
Yeah, that's it. It very much is, like you say, we're not, you know, this isn't our main source of income.
Yeah, because I obviously no idea on the financials, but I would assume they'll be like, yeah, Paramount, Killers of the Flower Moon, basically all the money from the theatrical release, you guys can have that because you're distributing it, but you know, or at least you get a bigger chunk than maybe other production companies would give. But after 2 months or so, the streaming rights in perpetuity are ours.
Yeah.
You know, Killers of the Flower Moon will probably be on Apple TV over Christmas.
Apparently it is. Apparently it's like the end of November.
Yeah, there you go. That's a fucking massive get. Huge.
Yeah, apparently.
You know, if you have Killers of the Flower Moon, like end of November, Napoleon around New Year's, that's going to get some fucking eyeballs.
That's it, yeah. And it will get people... It will get people subscribing.
Just like Sorex.
Yep. Right. Well, fuck it. Should we move on and review a film?
Sure.
Yeah. That segues us quite nicely. Should we Saw X it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So Saw X is written by some people and directed by Kevin Grueter?
Grueterts, something like that.
Grueterts, yeah. Oh, Kevy Groots. Let's go with that. Saw X. What's it about? Well, what is it about? A sick and desperate John travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle cure for cancer, only to discover that the entire operation is a scam to defraud the most vulnerable.
Why did my brain, when you were reading that out, go, who the fuck's John? Fucking 10 of these movies. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I mean, yeah, that is a bad one there. So it stars Tobin Bell and it stars Johnny Smith, sadly. And yeah, it's pretty much about that. John Kramer goes to an experimental...
You do not fucking scam John Kramer, do you?
Yeah.
What an idiotic move.
Medical lab.
Yeah.
And yeah, it all turns out to be a fake. And so what does he do? He gets fucking gamesy with it.
Fucks him up.
Yeah, Becky, you watched the other 9, didn't you, in the lead up to this?
I did.
How did you find Saw X? all 2 hours of it.
I've told you you're banned from using that as a complaint. It's boring to hear. I'm sick of it. It makes you sound like a Philistine. It's very gory. I enjoyed that about it. There's a lot of squelchy noises.
It's a very squelchy movie, yes.
I really wish that trap at the beginning had been real. With the tube eyes.
Yeah.
That was great. I loved that. Yeah, I don't know whether I enjoyed it because I've just watched the other 9 and it's like, yes, just give me more of this. Just give me a new one every couple of years. This would be great. Or whether I actually enjoyed it. Like, I did enjoy the gore. I did enjoy the plot's good. You know, you fucked around and found out kind of shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
The traps were disappointing, I feel. Like, with it all just being... The last few, there's been like a point-to-point kind of... You do a test, then you move on. Then you do a test, then you move on. Whereas this is all just... They're all just sat there.
Yeah, there's no pathway.
There's FaceTime with, like, John and Amanda between... You know, there's not the... They're not all in disguise and stuff like that. It just feels tonally very different. Go on, sorry, Ian.
Yeah, can I ask? Because you've been watching all the films. This one felt very heavy on chop bits of your body off to release the blah blah blah. Are they all like that? I swear there's more variety previously.
Yeah, dig through this thing of sharp things to find things, and yeah,
it's like chop your leg off, take out bits of your brain.
I did enjoy that.
The brain bit was fucking horrendous. Like, I mean, in a obviously it's going for it way. Jesus Christ!
It did seem a little bit like they were all like none of them quite had enough time.
Well, that is one of my complaints about the series. To be honest, it's like a lot of them are unwinnable because the time's not there. Like Spiral, for example. I know it's not canon, but it's even.
Well, it's Saw 9. If this is Saw 10, that is 9.
There's no John Kramer involved in it. It's the only one where.
Just you wait. Saw 14.
But like the tests, like everyone in that tries to pass their tests, but he just doesn't want them to. He just wants to punish them. So, yeah, yeah, I just don't know. I like the whole idea of it. She feels like, I said this to you when we came out, and she feels a bit too much like a cartoon villain at points.
The Doctor.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Yeah,
Jesus
definitely.
Christ.
And Shawnee Smith is just straight up awful in this one. She's not great in any of them. Like, she's not exactly a fucking acting powerhouse, is she? But she's passable. But in this, given that, like, bear in mind she's supposed to be younger.
And she looks like she's in her 70s.
And she looks older than Tobin Bell at points
she
in
does.
this one. And she's supposed to be younger than she is in, like, whichever one's run concurrently. I think it's like 2, 3, 4, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, you gotta do some de-aging on this one, I'm afraid. Or at least do some decent makeup, and please change that hair.
Her
hair was awful.
The hair was fucking weird.
Wasn't it? It was like a swimming cap made out of hair.
It was like a Lego man hair. I expected at one point that John Kramer just lift it off and then just put another one on her.
The weird thing about Tobin Bell, though, like, I mean, yes, he does look older in this.
But you can get away with it because it looks like it's supposed to be.
Cancer,
yeah.
But he doesn't look significantly older.
No, because people between the ages of, like, 50s and 70s...
Don't really age.
You know, when they are... Rich can kind of get away with it.
I thought he was really good in this. I think it adds a humanity to him, showing his personal struggle and, like, when she fucking, like, gets her comeuppance and stuff, it's like...
Well, you know it's coming though. You know something's going on. As soon as like I'll bring it in a second. As soon as like it goes to seesaw, I was like, well, hang on a minute. They could literally just keep on just passing that to each other and live forever. You knew something was afoot. He meant to be there.
It's Jigsaw though. You know, when she gets the upper hand, she ain't really.
Oh no, she ain't. Yeah, that was what was fun about it.
Yeah.
Ian, what did you think to it?
So first off, just the Amanda thing, I thought she was awful, but I did enjoy the English guy. She says something to him, and he's like, "Oh, fuck off, Amanda." I don't know. I like that delivery, and I couldn't remember that she was referred to as Amanda beforehand, and the fact that they then repeat it later on in like the like flashbacky thing.
Yeah,
he did a very, very good delivery of "Oh, fuck off, Amanda." Like I don't know. Just. There's some funny bits in it every now and then. And talking about the traps being too difficult, the fact that girl not only had to chop her leg off, but then also like fucking suck out the
marrow,
blood. The marrow. That was it. Yeah.
Wasn't it when the marrow was like the blood was sifting through and the marrow was collecting on the thing.
Yeah.
It's just 3 minutes to do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's not enough time.
No. It did seem like she'd actually done it.
Yeah, quite. So look, yeah, I was really enjoying it until I just kind of wasn't.
I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah, like the doctor woman is a cartoon. Like as soon as like that the English guy comes in, it's like, oh, he was with her all along. Blah, blah, blah. She just does a fucking 180 into just being fucking bananas. Like, you know, yeah, she's ripping people off, but then the character like has a transplant or something, because she is kind of egging on like the others to get out of their traps.
Yeah,
and then half an hour later, I didn't give a fuck about them. All I was thinking about was, you know, it's less people to share the money with. It was odd. I mean, like the sheer how much it was all manipulated, like the seesaw thing, and the money's going to be up there, and they're both gonna get the money, and it just. He's basically a psychic at this point.
Well, no, because he got all that information from the first guy, didn't he? The taxi driver.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. But just like the fact that it's like that he is going to be in that position down there, like he's going to lose control that much. And it's like they say that like the kid coming into it is like an unexpected wrinkle, and it's like, but it still feels like it would have played out pretty fucking similarly.
Yeah, that's the thing, and you've got the. I always think in moments like that, and this film isn't the only film to have ever done this. There's been many films that have done this. I always think in situations like that, it's like, what if they just shot him in the head before it got anywhere near that?
Yeah.
If
I was one of those people, I'd be like, I'm just going to kill this guy now. I wouldn't like walk him down and set him in front of his traps or anything like that. I'd be like, if I need this guy dead, I'm going to make sure this guy is dead at my earliest opportunity.
Yeah, but she's a cartoon and she's got to just do this fucking game. Look, I mean, I thought the opening act was like actually pretty strong though. Tobin Bell absolutely putting in a shift, and it's just the fact that they very much set up that these are people who it's like, you know what, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, you kind of deserve this. You fucked around and got found out.
Yeah, you know, and I thought that worked. It's, you know, and I mean, I think they're going to do another one where, like, it feels like that the doctor woman is going to get out of there somehow, and now it's going to be like her versus fucking John Kramer or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it did
for a film or two.
The fact that she's not dead makes it seem like that. I think there's going to be some form of her and her father against John Kramer and what's his name?
I Yeah, possibly. I
Mark.
think what it does really well though, because I think you have to view this franchise as like it's a ball of fucking wool. It's not linear at all. So like you watch this and you kind of understand a bit more about why he's so disappointed with like Amanda wanting to kill the Doctor, because he's so principled that even these people that fucking scammed him, gave him hope, and then fucking dashed those hopes. When that girl wins her challenge, she wants to take her to the hospital. Like he's very much in this kind of. He's all in on his methodology. Even if he wants revenge, if they win, he can't take it.
Yeah.
And then when like Hoffman and Amanda fuck around with stuff and basically make unwinnable puzzles and stuff like that, he obviously he's betrayed. He feels betrayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Did we ever expect to see a Saw film where literally except for the mid-credits scene, the ending is Jigsaw, Amanda, and a random kid walking out into a sunrise?
Bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, it's probably like the Saw film that has the most Jigsaw in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, I find that the grimness of it, I was a bit like, I don't need to see this.
Really?
I just can't be bothered with it anymore. I don't need to see a guy's eyeballs getting sucked out of his face.
Oh, I fucking loved that bit.
That's fine. But I was a bit like that. But then I would, if next year we've got Saw 11, then yeah, I probably will go and see it.
What did he have to do to not get his eyeballs sucked?
Get to snap all his fingers.
That was it.
Yeah.
I'd have just fucking cranked that all the way around.
I'd have just cranked it all the way around and just gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that dozens of times, haven't I, to be fair? I don't know, my fingers end up in the wrong position.
But I mean, like to be fair though, I mean, it's a dream sequence, I suppose. But it's kind of interesting that in his dream of it, the guy fails.
Yeah, that's a good point. That
But I don't think the filmmakers were thinking that deeply. But I don't know. It's just you've got to allow a bit of time for holy shit, this is happening. Excuse me, sorry. Like having 3 minutes. I don't know. I know this is a point we're kind of raking over, but yeah, you need to give them more time. Like honestly, I felt so bad for that girl that had to cut her leg off. Like that really. What 3 minutes just to do that?
Yeah, it does.
Come on.
It felt a little bit like just if it was just the 3 minutes to cut her leg off. And also, hers felt really extreme in comparison to, like... I mean,
that man had to cut a bit of his brain out, Mark.
Right?
Gabriella slightly got off a little bit easy, even though it would have been great if she did as she was going to do and started with going at her arm first, because then what would have happened?
Yeah. Dumbass.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it when the fucking thing moved across.
Yeah.
Great.
that was good. It's like
Swing
yes,
away.
I swung away, and it's
yeah.
like he hasn't thought of that, you dumbass.
Yeah, I could have clapped at that bit.
Yeah.
It just for what it's worth, though, like the setup's strong. You're perfectly happy to see them fucking suffer.
Yep.
It's a stronger one of the franchise.
Yeah, it's definitely top. It's definitely in the higher levels of
It's definitely top 10 for me.
top 10.
It's a joke.
Oh.
There's 10 of them.
That-
Well played.
Because 6 is decent. 2 has... I mean, obviously Saw 1's kind of unimpeachable in comparison. But 2, like, has just got a good level of grungy and nasty, but also, like, the plotting is fucking interesting. Like, what's going to happen when the clock goes down to 0.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting a little bit wrapped up in its own minutiae for a while. And then 6 is good. So, I don't know, I kind of feel like I'd be at like 1/6x2 at the moment.
I think the only one that I think is really quite disappointing is number 7.
Which one's that? Saw 3D?
Yeah.
Well, Kevy Boy also directed that one, didn't he?
Who did? Kevy G?
Kevy G, yeah.
But he was basically parachuted in to do it, and he was actually in pre-prod on a Paranormal Activity film, and was apparently fucking fuming that he had to do this. But the original director, I think, had like a clash with the studio, and it was like a contractual thing that if they wanted him for this, he had to do it.
Yeah, I think because he did 6 as well, which was a good one.
Yeah.
But like this is what I'm saying. The traps in 7, right? It's weak. It's got 2000s teen movie vibes and that gloss to it, and it's just not as good. But the traps, you've got those guys in the shop window that have to decide which of them to kill. They're both fucking that girl, and they decide to just let her die. That's elaborate. Then they've got like a bunch of white supremacists where there's a car just rips through them all.
Is that the Chester Bennington one?
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
The guy from Linkin Park.
Oh, right, okay. Has to pull out his teeth. Fake jigsaw survival. Yeah, do you know what? Plot wise, it's great. It's just the execution's bad on 7, but it does bring Gordon back and kills Hoffman. So there's always that.
Cool. I'm definitely not shit on it.
Yeah, definitely not shit.
I think it's decent. It's better than I expected Saw 10 to have been. If you'd have told me there's going to be a Saw 10,
I know I said it last time. I love that they've milked 10 movies out of a franchise where the antagonist dies in the second one. I think that's fucking fantastic. I think it's great.
It shows that anything is possible if you just put your, I won't even say mind to it.
No, I love them, and I've really enjoyed my rewatch this time around as well. Like, I think when we rewatched everything in the run up to Spiral, I didn't enjoy them as much. But I think maybe the level of interconnectivity is maybe fixed in my brain a bit better this time round.
Nice.
Loved it.
Good.
Can't wait for the next one.
I mean, you're going to get one.
Yeah, mild, definitely not shit. But yeah, kind of back in the room for Saw as a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there'll definitely be another one. Because I mean, the thing is, they can pump these out, and it costs like $13 million to make, and it's already made 30.
Nice.
So it's going to make a nice tiny little profit, and they can just keep doing them for like between $10 and $15 million.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much always going to make it back.
Yeah, because people are gorehounds.
Yep. Our audience poll. Definitely not shit 40% and shit 60%. So yeah. Should we keep this ball rolling? Let's keep it rocking and rolling, and I'll
baller rolling.
I'll just get into our next one.
Is this before I get sent out of the room?
Yeah, it is a little bit on that. So we're going to cover. So the next one is The Creator, written and directed by Gareth Edwards, starring John David Washington, Gemma Chan, Alison Janney, Sturgill Simpson, Ken Watanabe, Ralph Ineson turns up as well, which I really wasn't expecting. In a decent sized role. What is it about? So, against the backdrop of a war between humans and robots with artificial intelligence, a former soldier finds the secret weapon, a robot in the form of a young child. All spoilers all the time. I'm going to say this. I know we say it all the time, but I think we do need to say it. All spoilers all the time. Ian, The Creator.
Yo.
What did you think?
I enjoyed looking at it, and I enjoyed hearing aspects of it. Awful dog shit screenplay. That, man, if they put the effort into the screenplay as they did into the world building in this thing, it would be like Film of the Year material. But my God. It's the exposition. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys made of all this. But yeah, awful exposition, and then the third act, just no, bad movie. Not bad movie, but bad movie. That was a bad movie. Yeah. Overall, thought it was fine. Really, really wish I liked it more. Would encourage people to see it on the big screen, because that's definitely the best place to get the most impact out of the creator. Yeah, what do you guys think?
What do you think, Bex?
I really liked it. There was issues that I had with it, but overall, I think it overcomes them. I like the story. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed that it's not a movie about AI. It's a movie about essentially Vietnam style kind of warfare. I think the relationship between him and the kid is quite realistic in comparison to a lot of films of this type, because a lot of the time it's like, oh, I hate you, and suddenly I love you. Whereas this is like more of a gradual thing. And yeah, looks lovely. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a bit schmaltzy at points, and there is bits where there's like exposition dumps through like news reports and stuff like that are a bit like, that's lazy. But they didn't bother me enough.
I'll just give an example, like kind of a case in point, like what I'm thinking here, in what I'm saying. The friend, like, agrees to take them to that place where they picked up the thing on the ring.
Yeah.
They get there, and then he's like, I gotta tell you something. No, don't go out there.
Yeah.
Tell him earlier.
You've had a really long journey.
Yeah, but the film needs them to be there. Earlier on, the friend as well is looking at Alfie, and he's like, "This is the most advanced AI I've ever seen. It can, and not only that, but it can do blah, 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 blah," like laying out all the things that it could do, and it's just like, how do you know that? I don't get how you know that, other than the fact that it's information that has to be given. Also,
he ran a diagnostic
why the
check.
fuck does he have memory loss at the start? Sorry. Why is he saying he can't remember shit?
He's saying he can't remember what's it is, what's it called again? Namata is.
Why can't he remember that?
Because he never knew.
He never knew.
Well, why don't you say, I don't know, instead of, I can't remember?
Because they keep saying, where's the location, don't they? Rather than who is it, they keep saying, where's the location? He's like, I don't.
But why doesn't he remember that?
Because he's.
If he doesn't know it, why isn't he saying, I don't know?
Because he says when they come in at the start that he knows where. What? I keep forgetting the word.
Why did he forget?
Namata is.
Why did he forget?
I think he's lying. I don't think he ever knew.
Yeah.
But they do the fucking polygraph thingy on him, and I don't know. It just, there's so many things like, I mean, God, sorry, I'm going off on one a little bit. But when they go up to the moon, they're like flying up there. The only reason why they get to their intended destination is because they're like, oh, you've got to pull all the flights. So then they land at that nomad place instead of going anywhere else, which just so happens to be the place they need to go to.
No, she moves it to that.
She moves it to that,
she can control it. So, she literally starts controlling it and she lands it there.
Right, okay, that makes sense. Thank you. And then when they get there, it's just, the airline attendants are just like, we've had to make an emergency stop. Everybody just walk out of here. Also, that space station had no staff at all. They are running around all over the place and no fucker is stopping them. They're just watching them on the CCTV cameras from like back in that base in Los Angeles.
Because they've said to evacuate.
But they know that they are there and they're going to try and like blow up the whole place or do something there. You're not going to send some fucking people after them.
They do. They do.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. She traps them all in a room.
She traps them all in a room.
As they're coming in, she shuts off all the doors that will go, so she's got a clear run to the control room.
What, like, there's like 3 or 4 people?
No, there's like an entire team.
All kitted out.
Is there?
Yeah.
Tech gear.
Yeah.
Alright, I just fucking... I'll be honest, I checked out so fucking hard by that point. That fair enough then. But still, I don't get why he's saying he doesn't remember shit. And I don't get why that friend drove him the entire fucking way there and said, wait, I've got something I need to tell you.
No, but weren't they just following the tracker signal up to that point? He might not have realised that the tracker signal was leading him to his old house.
Because he just said, didn't he? Wait, this is your old house.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Would have to watch it again.
But he knows that he wants
yeah.
to find his wife.
He still should have said at the start.
He knows that she is Nemrata.
Yeah, he should have said when he first came back into his life, when he was like, "Oh my god, it's you!" After 5 years.
Who knows that she's Namata?
The fucking guy.
Yeah.
The friend.
Right.
Yeah, he does. He says, we were there to get.
Yeah.
What's her name? Maya.
And also, and I'm nearly done. I swear I'm nearly done. I did not buy the connection between the dad and the kid at all. Like, the way that... there's that one bit where they're almost like at a checkpoint place, and he's like, well, fuck you. Like, I don't want to do anything. I don't know, I'm paraphrasing. It's like they're having an argument. And then suddenly they're on a bus and, like, she wants to be close to him and they're having these, like, really deep, heartfelt conversations. I did not get that connecting material at all. It felt like there's maybe a director's cut that was just too long for the studio that would maybe flesh that relationship out a little bit more. Also, and I promise I'm almost done, but shit in this film bugged me. Gemma Chan, at the end... she's got that stem thing put back in her so that she knows her husband's there. Like, why is she running to him when the last... I suppose he said, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no. It's just like I'm going to run to you and then I'm immediately going to die. And it felt like a cruel ending for that character to me. That it's just, now she's just in this space. She doesn't really know where she is. There you go. She's going to kiss him and then they're both going to fucking blow up.
Well, or she's been in a coma for 5 years and she gets to be brought back for a brief reunion with the person that she loves before she dies. She could have just died.
She fucking should have. Bugged me, this film, as you could tell. Mark.
I really liked it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, really liked it. I think that the world building's fantastic. It looks amazing. The fact that you can make a movie... the fact that you can make a movie that looks as bad as The Flash does and spend $250 million on it and then come up with bullshit excuses for why it looks as shit as it does.
Oh, the cutest little suicide bombers you've ever did see as well. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, and then
tubby little fuckers.
You can make
running for it.
A movie that looks this good for $80 million is insane.
Yeah. Can I just point out, we've watched two new 2023 movies. Can Hollywood writers not do subtle villains anymore?
No.
Because the army lady in this, like, fucked me when that thing blew up. It was cathartic.
Yeah, she was. The thing is, I think the movie is best when it is being essentially a, hey, remember Vietnam? The Americans will fucking do it again. When basically it's that.
Very anti-America. I can't see it landing.
Yeah, I can't see it landing in America unless Americans just don't realise how anti-American it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is quite amusing for that. John David Washington is just... It's just becoming kind of like a thing you say now, but he's fantastic in this.
He is.
He's great in this.
Well,
I will say that when I know if it didn't get you in, that's fine, but when the fucking kid calls him dad at the end broke me a little bit. Like, that fucking got me.
And the fact that he actually was as well, that's...
Yeah. You know, that was fucking horrible in the way it was. And I think it's because facially John Day Washington is a brilliant face actor. You've got actors who are very good, and you've got occasional actors who are just very good face actors.
Yeah.
De Niro's a fantastic face actor. It's why it's why Quentin Tarantino let De Niro basically cut out like 75% of the script of his lines from Jackie Brown. But there's that. There are bit. I don't think it. I think like you said, Ian. The worst bit about it is the script, and I think that maybe if Chris Weitz hadn't had a hand in it, it would be better. You know, he's not a great screenwriter. No, there's no getting away from it. He's just not a great writer. He just had a couple of hits early on.
Right.
But I'm a little bit... I thought it might have been better, but I then thought it was a different movie to what I got.
Yeah.
But I was happy enough with the movie I got. I am looking forward to giving it a couple of rewatches just to sort of see bits that I didn't... That I was a bit like, right, all right, I'm not quite sure on that. And bits like that.
The war element of it bothered me throughout, to be fair. What, Americans are just going over to Asia, bombing the shit out of shit, and...
I mean, they've got form for it.
Yeah, but they're not reacting. They're not doing anything
back.
Yeah. That seems unrealistic.
Well, I mean, there was like that one line that was weirdly fucking just a part of the conversation where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, the whole nuclear bomb thing was a coding error. It wasn't even them. Yeah. Like, the US Army just did it and tried to hide it. I could have done with
more of that.
A little bit more fucking
like you say, it does feel
spice
like there might
on
be
that.
a director's cut that's like an extra half an hour long.
That felt like a fucking massive revelation to just stick in the middle of a relatively low-key conversation.
Yeah, and especially for a film that very much is seeming like this is a one and done. We're not building a world. We're not trying to build a franchise.
That's really refreshing.
Which is also quite nice that you're watching this and going, this is a one film and go with that. But yeah, I was... The bits I thought would bug me, I was alright with. And I could see... What? The kid, yeah. And you can see the fingerprints of certain other movies within it that is quite nice. You know, there's definitely, you know, an Apocalypse Now bit in there, and there's definitely there's elements of Blade Runner-iness within it as well. But also... It's not just trying to ape those. It's not going full fucking cyberpunk. It's got a texture to it, and again, I quite like that it has a texture to it that is there.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, I've been really, really down on it, but so I mean, some of the imagery in it is fucking spectacular, and like the way the AI, it really like focuses on the AI just being with people. And like there's that one shot where like the AI's on the boat and it's almost just got like its legs up, just like chilling out. And it's like, never seen I don't think I've ever seen a robot do that before. And if it like it's just kind of like living life.
Yeah.
And they do
it's gone
through this.
I've seen the people do this.
And I thought that was great, and the intro as well, where it's like the alternative history stuff, but it looks like footage from like the 60s, 70s, 80s. That was cracking.
Yeah,
like the world building visually in this film is fucking incredible. And it is more than worth watching in the cinema just for that. But just the story, I just wasn't quite there with. But then again, there's moments like that bit where, again, like the replaying, like basically resurrecting that guy for 30 seconds, and he's just like, shit, my wife, I want to see my wife, and they're trying to get him to focus down. He like looks over and sees his fucking body, and the realization of that, like that's a great dark as fuck moment.
Ice cream girlfriend dying really hurt me.
Oh god, yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, it was a little. I was a little bit like, Jesus Christ, just like stop visiting people.
She was lovely.
She seemed nice, yeah. He had a nice little life for himself. Yeah. And it's just didn't go well. Yeah. You know,
I did like, what do you want, sweetheart? Like freedom for the AI and everybody to live in peace. I don't think we got that in the free. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, but I mean, the other bit is from literally the moment the film opens and they're mentioning, you know, that they're, you know, that I keep forgetting the name of it. Namata. It keeps just jumping out of my head. You're there, just go in. It's Gemma Chan. I mean, it's Gemma Chan. It clearly is.
Yeah, you don't cast Gemma Chan without. Yeah.
Also,
I will just say the kind of like the chapter type heading things could have done without that.
Oh, I like that.
They just kind of stop after a while. Where it's like the creator, the child, the friend, the mother.
You just really hated it, didn't you?
I didn't hate it. It was just like, what, you know, it's a kind of like an ideas above its station kind of thing there, narratively. But world building and visually and audibly, it's fucking going for it.
I think if you'd have had a better writer working with Edwards, I think you've had a better film. But I think you could say the same thing about other bits that he's worked on him with.
Look, yeah. Look, I mean, I'm at a 7 out of 10 on it. I think it's definitely not shit, but it's because I enjoyed everything around the story at like a 5-star level.
I'm definitely not shit. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely not shit for me.
Looking forward to seeing it again, just to kind of like. It's a world that's interesting. I have a feeling there's more going on than I took in on first watch.
I'm looking forward to watching it at home as well.
Did not expect Alison Janney to turn up.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah, she was. But when it turned up, I was like, wait, is that Alison Janney? And then I didn't think she was going to be in it much more going on.
She was a good dickhead.
Yeah. But I also do like a movie where the main antagonist just fucking dies like half an hour before the end.
Yeah.
Because at first when she came in with Ralph Ineson, because she was in the background, you didn't really see her there. I was looking going, fuck, is that Kate Dickie? That would seem weird that's Ralph Ineson and Kate Dickie. Just like they were both just free on the same day. Like they were just hanging out.
The Witch reunion, baby.
Fun.
The Witch reunion.
And that's what I thought. I thought it was that, and I was like, hang on a minute, no wait, is that Alison Janney? And I thought that it was just going to be like, that's going to be it. She's going to be in it for a few minutes, and then no, she ends up being fucking
the main bad guy.
Yeah, she ends up being Stephen Lang from fucking Avatar.
Do you know what I love about it as well? It's a really good decision to have that part played by a woman, but not make anything of the fact that she's a woman.
No.
Or, you know, I've risen through the ranks and it was hard for me as a woman, you know, with all this misogyny. They don't make any point of it.
Nope.
That part could have easily been played by a man. There's nothing that refers to the fact that she's a woman, and I fucking love that.
Yeah, it was just
all too often they'll give women parts like that, but then they'll make a real big fucking. Did you see we put a woman in here? She's a woman.
Yeah.
She's a colonel. She's a woman, right? but she's a really high-ranking army officer as well. Do you get it? Do you get what we did there? Yes. And now you've ruined it.
Yeah. Our audience poll on this. Let's have a wee little look. See what we find. Is I did have this open a second ago, then I put my phone away for some reason. Definite shit 75% and touching cloth 25%.
Sure.
So, yeah, piss off, Becky. Could you get me a drink actually while you're doing that?
No.
Well, we're going to talk. We're going to talk a movie that Becky hasn't seen, and we think she should see it. So.
She'd care about the spoilers quite severely, I feel.
Yeah. So we're shunting away and I'm making her do a woman's work and getting me a drink. I'm going to wait until she's got me a drink and then gone into a different room for good, because she's just in the kitchen, which she can still hear me from. While I'm doing that, let's find...
You could do the synopsis, eh?
Yeah, then no one can save you. No one will save you. No one... Well, see, it's written and directed by Brian Duffield, who... What else did he do?
I think he's a new one on me, if I'm honest.
He wrote Underwater. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he wrote.
Cool.
He wrote Underwater, and he has directed one other film, but it was like a rom-com.
Fuck, that needs a rewatch. I might download
Underwater.
that for the old Disney Plus for when we're away.
We rewatched it a while ago, and it holds up. It's a cracking film. Is Underwater.
Yeah. Nice.
So we will save you. An exiled, anxiety-ridden homebody must battle with an alien who's found its way into her home. Kind of, yeah. It's Caitlin Diva.
It's kind of the start.
Yeah. Ian, what did you think to this? And did you know, going in, that there was basically no dialogue?
Yes, I did.
I didn't.
So I knew a little bit about this film. I take it you didn't.
I haven't watched the trailer. Didn't even know it was about aliens until the synopsis on Disney Plus said it was. That was about it. Knew nothing. Went in completely cold.
Yeah, so I knew there was barely any dialogue, but I hadn't seen the trailer, and I thought it was just going to be like basically her versus an alien for an hour and a half. So when she fucking like stabbed it in the head with like a screwdriver or some shit.
No, it was a it was a clock tower. It was a bell tower from that little like model city she'd had.
Oh fuck yeah! All right, cool. I'll be honest. I'd had a few, it was after the podcast. I watched this on Wednesday night after we recorded. I'd had a few, so I might be a little bit hazy on some of the film if I'm honest.
I watched it this morning at like 7 o'clock this morning with a. I didn't even go for coffee. I had a cup of tea, which is a very rare thing that I will drink tea. I had a cup of tea and was watching this, and then literally at that moment went, "Did she stab him with like a bell tower?"
Yeah,
and then it pulled away. I was like, "Fair enough, she did. Yeah, all right, girl, fair enough."
So yeah, like that happens, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck's going to happen now then?" And then it just goes off.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of like you got a bit of body horror, you got a bit of fucking like psychological trauma. I mean, it's about trauma, but I think it dresses it up well enough that it's not smacking you in the face with it. It's got some great sequences throughout.
Yep.
And then just has an absolutely fucking bonkers ending, which like that last scene is wowee.
Yeah.
All right, that's a way to go out. That is dark, but in the context of the film, the happy ending that character needed.
Yeah. In a weird way, it kind of is. I was watching the ending going, so that girl is just now living with all of these aliens, and she's totally having a threesome with that girl and that guy. So go girl. Yeah, well played. It's like, works out well for you.
I WhatsApped Noel and was just like Right, so am I just reading it right that she is now just kind of like at peace, living life in that town, but like all of the aliens are basically just done her a solid and are like, nah, we'll leave you be. It kind of seems like maybe you could do with some friends. You go.
It's more just like, right, you've killed too many of us, so clearly there's something going on here. So we're just going to leave you. But we're all aliens, and she's been like, yeah, all right, fair enough. All right with that.
It's just like that smile on her face at the end.
Yep.
Where it's almost like, I know this should be terrifying, but kind of not.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. Fascinating. I mean, the wordless thing does stretch credulity.
Yeah, it does. What I will say there is, there was a point where I paused it, and Disney Plus have got this annoying thing now where a time bar doesn't come up along the bottom when you pause it. For some reason, that just really annoys me. It doesn't feel very clean.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and I was getting another drink, and so I paused it, and I was thinking, it's having a bit of a lull, and I thought, I wonder how long's left. So I pressed back. I was like, fuck hell, there's 45 minutes left. I don't know where this is going, but it doesn't appear to actually be going anywhere. And I'm only halfway through. And I was enjoying it, but I was a little bit like, do you know what? If it's 45 minutes more of this, then it's going to get old real quick. And it did start to a little bit. And I am going to say, I am getting a little bit tired of the things coming out of things' mouth and going into mouth thing in like horror. It's just a bit like, could you not be more interesting? Could it not come out of its eyes?
Yeah, I get it. It's phallic and it's invasive.
Yeah, and going at eyes, but it's a bit like, seriously, just mouth thing. But then it did add a bit to it that was quite fun, where she fucking reaches into her own mouth and pulls the fucker out. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You've not seen another one do that.
That's true.
That was quite good, and it was a good edit as well. A real good edit from there to there. But as well, it keeps the mystery of what's she done. And you know that in some way that it's that her friend is dead, but you're there going, but what's happened? And then when it shows you're there going, oh, all right, yeah, I don't have to hate her, but I can see why the town shuns her, but then again, it is harsh.
I mean, it's like when that woman spat at her, I was like, shit, she's fucking done something bad.
Yeah.
And that that's quite powerful. But yeah. It's, I don't know, it's well played out though. But again, it's kind of trauma, but I don't know, I just felt like it played it more organically than just going, this is what this is about.
Yeah. It never tries to hammer it home, but you get the idea of, yeah, she feels like an alien within that world because she's ostracized from it, but also as well, she can't seem to leave it. It's also her world, so she's developed her own little world within that world, and then at the end, she gets to share her little world with. She gets to expand it effectively.
And now everybody's doing that fucking
dance.
Old school dance.
I was looking at it and going. So did she get the aliens to drag out all the carpets and do like this little? That's fucking great. Are they like her slaves? Because there's quite a lot of like rugs out there, isn't there? She hadn't done that on her own and just invited them all. She had help.
Yeah, they're just going to do their thing with her. Yeah. It's like, all right, if it keeps her sweet and she's happy, then
she
cool, we're happy.
She doesn't fucking murder any more of us.
Yeah. Good deal.
Yeah, we can just, but we're all right with this. Yeah, I had a good time with it. it's smart that it knows that it doesn't need to be too long.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you'd have had another 5 minutes of any of this movie, I would have been a little bit like, all right, nah, fuck off, you've ruined it now. But it's a 90-minute genre pick. And that's how long genre picks should be. They should be 90 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good, like, Caitlin Dever as well, decent, you know, physically capable's got to do an awful lot with not a lot of chat, as we said, and I think she plays that quite well. Like, the looks on her face are quite exaggerated at times, but, you know, in fairness to her, I think she's hamstrung by the fact that she's basically not allowed to
talk,
fucking make a noise.
Yeah, that's it.
By a director, so I'm not going to blame her for that.
Yeah, and it's one of those. I mean, when we're saying, guys, I get all spoilers all the time. There is literally 5 words, I believe, spoken in the entire thing, and they're all spoken at the same time, and that's it. There's nothing else throughout it, and it's not like something like A Quiet Place where she has to be quiet so that the aliens don't hear her. It's nothing like that. There's nothing to do with. There's no reason for it to have no dialogue other than the fact that she has no one to talk to. And she clearly isn't a person that talks to herself. If I was in that situation, there would be more words than in any movie ever, because I talk to myself all of the time.
And that's the thing. It's like, I get there's trauma and she's been ostracised, but it feels like it's basically a complete rewiring of a brain would be needed to make her be as just no noise as she is. Like, yeah, okay, she kind of pants and grunts and stuff from time to time, but it was, you know, I get that it's to make a point, but it just took me out of it in moments.
There was a couple of moments where I went, yeah, we get it, Bryman. And it was the fact that the gravestone said, loving mother of Bryn. And it's like, yeah, we got that was her mum's grave. And then there was a picture of Maud and Bryn, BFFs. It's like, yeah, we get it. They were friends. You don't literally have to write it on the screen for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and more people should watch it, because if you've got Disney Plus, it's just there. I wouldn't have been. I think we say this a lot when we do things like this. I wouldn't have been disappointed going to see that at the cinema.
I think it would have worked really fucking well in the cinema.
Yeah,
this
I'd have really liked it. I think it would have the because the sound design is actually quite good, and the aliens as well there. It shows the alien fucking straight away. There's no fucking around with it.
And just the fact that he is just a little grey dude scuttling about.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
And he's just got fucking like hand feet.
Yeah.
And the fact at one point when the feet come down, she does make an face.
Yeah.
it felt like that felt kind of real. But yeah, as well, she manages to kick a few of them out, and she kills a couple of them, which doesn't appear like anybody else has managed to do. But also as well, I will say that having it basically be in a cloud again was a bit like, maybe you should have changed that after Nope.
Sure. Yeah.
But definitely not shit.
Yeah, definitely not shit, man. Yeah. Decent time.
Yeah, our audience poll for that. 43% definitely not shit. 43% touching cloth and 14% shit. That
kind of more of a mixed bag than I expected, actually.
I thought it'd be a bit more. Yeah, I thought people would have reacted more positively to that. So yeah. Right. Should we do some what we've been up to? I'll go and grab Becky.
Oh, yeah.
Bex, you safe? Right. What have you been up to, Ian? Back from down now.
Alright, okay, so, a few things, or at least a couple of things, just pulling them up now, come on, you fuckers. Right, so, yeah, I've got two other films to talk about. So, rewatch of Spike Lee's Inside Man. I
love the fact that the title is just so on the nose with that film.
Yeah, it's funny. Look, I mean, that film is just such an incredibly perfectly formed, self-contained little nugget of fun plot, fun characters, New York as all hell, brilliant score, and yeah, I just this like a twisty plot, but at the center of it, Denzel Washington just playing a cop who's like just quite impressed with himself constantly. And I forgot that the last scene of this film is Denzel Washington basically just getting ready to have sex with his missus, and they're obviously going to have a really good time. Like, the last line of the film, I'm paraphrasing slightly, but it's something like, "Baby, hurry up, these handcuffs are getting cold." And it's... yeah, I mean, like, Denzel Washington and Clive Owen only get a couple of scenes together, but they're really fantastic. And then you got Jodie Foster as this fixer who's just above it all and gets sent back down to earth, and just so many fucking New York actors and kind of like, hey, that guy's in it as well. And yeah, the plot is just very, very clever too. You know, it's incredibly watchable film. You know, it's on Netflix. I was like, yeah, fuck it, let me watch this again. And it just it's a good couple of hours long, and it just flies by. Yeah, I would have loved a sequel. And you know, Spike Lee said that they tried and they couldn't get the money for it, which is mad because this made good solid money.
I believe it might be. I think it's like Spike Lee's like highest grossing movie. I think.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it is. And it's just like, even if it wasn't like necessarily Washington and Owen again, just like Washington and Ejiofor like on another case,
yeah,
would rule.
That's it. You don't need. I mean, I do think that the Denzel Washington's character is one of the most interesting characters in the movie.
Yeah, quite. And you know, he's got this kind of like this stuff hanging over him, like his money that's gone missing, and it is a little bit like, well, is he a bit of a snake? And it's like, no, he's not. You know, and the way it kind of comes out in the wash could be because Jodie Foster's fixer character, could just be that the shit was found. But there's a great scene where like his superior is just like, oh, you'll never guess where we found it, and he's just like, was it in my bank account? No. Was it under my mattress? No. Then I don't want to know. You know, and that's great. So many cool character moments with him. Yeah, absolute banger of a film is Inside Man. Disappointingly, not a banger of a film is new Netflix original Reptile, co-written by and starring Benicio del Toro. Also featuring Justin Timberlake and others. So yeah, story is Justin Timberlake plays an estate agent whose girlfriend, who's like also an estate agent, like works with him, is murdered. Benicio del Toro is on the case, and essentially what starts as a murder investigation kind of spirals into something bigger. This film is pretty engaging for the first half or so, while it's the murder investigation.
It's long,
you know, there's a lot. Yeah, it's like 2 hours 10 or something like that. There's a lot of suspects, and you know, there's kind of like people come into it are just like, right, am I only suspecting them because they're stereotypically the kind of person you'd suspect would be a suspect? And it's like, yes, they are.
I'm just looking at the Wikipedia, and it credits Michael Pitt as Eli Phillips, a suspect.
Oh, does it really? Yeah. And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, Michael Pitt is decent in this as well. Actually, it's good to see him in something again. But then through the first half as well, you've got Benicio del Toro's character. He's kind of like, he's almost got like a taste for the good things in life, and it is a bit like, well, is he a bent cop? There's a little bit of Denzel Washington in Inside Man to him to an extent. Not quite as ultra, but there's a moment where he's looking around Justin Timberlake's kitchen and like kind of asking questions. It's like it's the murder house, asking questions and stuff, and he just says to his partner at one, oh god, what is it? There's a tap, and it's a tap that you activate by kind of like waving your hand at it, and then he's just doing that, and he just says to his partner like, I fucking love this kitchen. And then about 5 minutes later, there's this dramatic music. Slight spoiler alert for Reptile, but just a fucking weird, bizarre piece of direction, if you don't mind.
Yep.
There's this music building up. Benicio del Toro's like really like focusing on something, and it goes boom. And what is he looking at? It's that tap he was just waving at, and he wants to buy it on some online shopping site. And I got there, and I was just like, right, I don't know what this film is doing. There's another moment where like he's at a car dealership, like working on a clue, and he's just like, this car, how many miles on it? What's the cost? Yeah. And then he just gets his partner to like get in the car with him, and they're just fucking talking about the case while he's like fiddling about with the seat, and every now and then going, oh yeah. And it's the second half of the film does kind almost like build off of the like he likes the good things in life kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it, but seriously, this music is like, there's going to be a really dramatic reveal, and then it's just he's looking at a fucking tap. It's so weird, and then the second half just goes off a cliff, just completely shits the bed. And yeah, it just, I won't say anything more than it gets bigger than just a murder investigation, but by the end, it's just, I mean, this is just some by the numbers shit, and I don't care. I preferred it when it was more focused. Whatever, and I checks out of it like pretty hardcore. But Benicio del Toro obviously cares and is putting in a shift, and Justin Timberlake is just very, very good at playing I don't know whether I trust you or not characters.
He's a decent actor, is Timberlake.
He's solid in this. Like, the performances in this film do not let it down. And I mean, like, for what it's worth, it looks like a movie. You know, it's got a good kind of menacing score. Alicia Silverstone actually is Del Toro's wife in this, and she's pretty fucking good too. It just, the second half, the story just goes into, right, okay, so we're doing one of these then. And it's not nearly as interesting as the first half was. And it just completely foregoes that almost kind of like weird comedy vibes that some of the first half was giving off. Disappointing overall. And like you said earlier, Mark, it's pretty fucking long.
Yeah.
Especially for what it turns out to be.
I looked at that and thought, I thought this was going to be about probably, somewhere between 97 and 104 minutes, and then it's topping out at 136.
Yeah, this is very much Netflix content of the week. No one's going to be talking about it next week. And that's me.
Bex, have you just been sawing it?
Well, sort of. So I watched the last 3 Saw movies. We covered
4 technically.
4, yeah. We covered a fair bit of it earlier. What I will say is Saw 3D has some good traps, but is ultimately disappointing. But it does serve the purpose of bringing back Dr. Gordon and getting rid of Hoffman because he's a dickhead. Jigsaw's really interesting. I like the twist at the end that everything's years ago, and that the pathologist guy is one of his guys. And Spiral, I think going into it expecting it to be a Saw movie when I watched it when it first came out was probably a large part of my disappointment with it. I really enjoyed it a lot more this time round, going into it knowing from the get-go that, spoiler alert, it's a copycat. So yeah, it really allowed me to enjoy it more. I also accidentally watched a different movie called Spiral.
Oh wow, okay.
I was watching it going, I don't remember there being any gay bashing at the start of Spiral. This is weird.
Yeah, you selected the wrong one, didn't we?
Yeah. So, yeah, basically this one. So the IMDb synopsis is, a same-sex couple move to a small town to enjoy a better quality of life and raise their daughter with strong social values. But when neighbours throw a very strange party, nothing is as it seems in their picturesque neighbourhood. So, basically, yeah, this gay couple and one of their sort of late teens daughters moved to this small town. One of them's a writer and is trying to write, but then weird shit starts happening. Someone breaks into their house and spray paints the gay slur F word on their wall, rather than the regular F word. And some weird guy turns up shouting on their property and things like that. But the writer guy, he keeps having flashbacks of this, the gay bashing incident from the start of the movie, where you don't see all of it, but basically they get attacked and the guy that he's with gets more severely attacked than he does. But then throughout the movie he's talking to him on the phone and stuff like that. He keeps like calling him despite the fact that he's not with him anymore and all this kind of stuff. And it's just very weird. He goes down like an investigative route, try to find out what's going on in the in the town that they've moved to, and it turns out there's some recurring patterns. I don't want to spoiler it too much because it is a recommend. It's quite an interesting sort of take on the whole is it paranoia, is it really happening kind of genre of movie. But yeah, there's a few fake out sort of bits with it. It's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that you like started watching the wrong film and just ended up watching the whole fucking thing. Fair play.
Yeah, well, so I started watching it, I realised it was the wrong one, then I googled it, and then I was like, do you know what, actually, that sounds quite intriguing. I'm going to give it a go. It's still in the same horror genre, so it slakes that appetite, so yeah. And then the only other one that I watched was the one we watched together.
Oh, right. Oh, well, let's lead in with that then.
There's not really much to say about this one. We've spoken about it at length many, many times.
Yeah, we have.
So we rewatched First Blood for the millionth time.
Yes.
It's actually my suggestion as well, wasn't it?
It was your suggestion, yeah. So we're kind of almost making like, if we have a Saturday night where we're going to watch a movie, we're kind of doing like a 4K Saturday, aren't we?
Yeah.
And so we watched First Blood, which Ian had gifted me on 4K.
Oh,
Nice.
thanks for tuning.
And thank you very much for our training day, which will be future
Yeah, Saturday night.
editions of 4K Saturdays.
No worries.
As my building collection is growing, isn't it? We've got a cupboard, the 4K cupboard.
Yeah.
It's there now.
We could, once you've got a few more, we could get a shelf.
No, we're not getting a shelf. Stay in the cupboard.
I miss the DVD shelf.
I like the cleanness of not having them. So yeah, to rewatch First Blood, the 4K looks fantastic for anybody who's thinking about getting it. You should. It looks amazing.
And the film itself fucking slaps. Like, I keep expecting to watch it at some point and like not enjoy it as much, but every time I watch it, I enjoy it more.
And I've watched a few movies. Yeah.
Strap in, guys. It's the Mark selection.
So I rewatched The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Ooh.
To kind of... I was intrigued. And the thing is, in my brain, the reason why I haven't rewatched this in a while is because I thought, sure, this film's like... It's like in excess of 2 hours. But it isn't. I think I'm thinking of... This Is Arguing. That's one's longer. And so yeah, so I gave it a go, give it a rewatch. I was also curious to see, 18 years on, how has this aged as badly as I think it will have aged? Yes and no is the answer. There's like, there's, you could point at things like the "Do you know how I know you're gay?" jokes has been a little bit like, ooh, that's a little bit. But I actually also kind of don't think it is. I just think that these guys are kind of idiots and are just being idiots. And it's not.
But
I don't even think it's. In
I don't
nasty
think at
ways.
the time. I don't think it. No, I don't necessarily think it was nasty.
Yeah.
But at the time, I don't think Apatow's thinking was that you are supposed to think they are idiots. It is you are supposed to find what they're saying funny.
Well, I think there's an element of that, but I also do think there's an element of you are also supposed to think that they are idiots, but they are funny.
I mean, for what it's worth, at the time, I thought what they were saying was funny. Attitudes and opinions changed.
Yeah, that's it.
Like that.
But I think the thing is, it's not. It's not nasty, and I don't think any of the bits within this are particularly nasty. And it does have one of the great sort of all of these films. It does have 40-Year-Old Virgin does have one of the funniest lines and line deliveries of this group of films, the Apatow world, and it's just when Seth Rogen is in Andy's apartment, and Andy's just told him that Catherine Keener's character is about to come over to go on their date, and he's just there going, just look at this place, and then he turns around and goes, is that Steve Austin's dad, boss? And it's like, yeah, and it's just it's just really it's a really well delivered line. It's funny. It's probably, you are watching it going, it's one of the better ones of these, but yeah, it's not as funny as people remember. It's more funny because
It's fucking long as well, eh?
Yeah, it is. It feels like it's too long. Jumping from a movie that feels like it's too long to another movie that feels like it's too long. Released only a couple of years before, and a movie that literally destroyed a director's career. Yeah, it's Gigli. I rewatched Gigli.
Right, yeah.
To see if it was as bad as people kind of always say it is. It is, Gigli. It is that bad. The thing is, Jennifer Lopez is fine in it. She's engaging. She's pleasant to spend time with. For some reason, Martin Brest has got Ben Affleck doing a New York accent, which makes no sense. He's supposed to be like a low-level crime, like a low-level gangster. just have him called, like, fucking Boston Larry or something like that. He doesn't have to be from New York, and it doesn't make sense. The film the film literally at 2 points within the first 15 minutes makes sure that you know what it's called by having people get his name wrong and him explain it how you say his name.
Oh, he's Geely him?
Yeah, he's Larry
I thought
Geely.
it was her. Okay.
No, he's Geely. Yeah, and you have at points where someone calls him Giggly, and then somebody calls him Giggle, and he's like, no, it's Geely, like really. And that happens like 3 times throughout the movie. But the main problem this movie has isn't the fact that, I mean, somehow it costs $75 million, which makes no sense because nothing happens. Of that $75 million, I assume that $30 million of it was Jennifer Lopez, $30 million of it was Ben Affleck, $10 million of it was Al Pacino, and then the other 5 was the film. But nothing happens, and it's really quite boring, and it's just over 2 hours long.
Fair play.
Yeah. The story is basically, they are... You've not seen it, have you, Bex?
No.
Have you ever seen it, Ian?
No, actually.
Don't, you don't need to.
No, I don't think I have.
Don't. Please, nobody watch it. But the story essentially is that Julius has kidnapped the brother of a federal prosecutor. But he doesn't know it's a federal prosecutor. He just thinks it's the brother of somebody that his boss needs to have a bit of leverage over, and then you find out it's a federal prosecutor, who is played by Justin Bartha. But he's got autism. And the way that he gets to kidnap him is he tells him he's going to take him to Baywatch. The place where Baywatch is.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that Baywatch is real. And that's it. The whole thing is that he keeps pretending to take this kid, no, I'm going to take you to Baywatch, but then pretending that Baywatch, that every day that he's trying to take him while he's got him kidnapped, he's pretending that Baywatch is closed that day by talking to somebody on a walkie-talkie that is actually a flashlight.
Right.
Yeah. Genuinely, take away the fact that Jennifer Lopez is quite fetching. Take away that from the film, and there is nothing to this film whatsoever. It deserves not even to be called like one of the worst films of all time, because there's not enough to it for it to be that bad. It is just... It is the most 2 out of 10 movie that could exist. Sorry, 2 out of 5 movie that can exist. There's nothing to it. And then finally, to round off me watching... This is a good one. I watched a good movie. Yeah.
I think you just did this because you're embarrassed by your others.
No, just fancy rewatching it. Rewatched A Serious Man. Because
Oh, nice.
I don't think I've actually watched this since the cinema. And I really enjoyed it in the cinema. So it's been like a number of years since it came out, like nearly 15 years since it came out. So I thought, I'm due a rewatch of this because I remember enjoying it, and I've previously enjoyed rewatching the Coen brothers' sillier movies. Not outright silly movies like Raising Arizona, which I do enjoy rewatching. But the ones where... Because this was the movie they made off the back of No Country for Old Men. And Lebowski is the movie they made off the back of Fargo. So whenever they make a movie that was like really like commercially successful and critically successful, they tend to make something that is incredibly esoterically Coen.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie is.
Right.
You've got Fred Malamed, creates a great character with Cy Abelman. The guy who essentially is having an affair with his wife, but he's just being really nice to him. He just wants things to go really nice. But it's also, as well, underneath it all, this like malevolent force that is driving him out of his home and causing him to possibly not get tenure at his job, and all of these things that is there. But he kind of can't do anything about it, Stuhlbarg, because he just doesn't know what's going on. It's very much like, I don't know how this has all happened. And all of these things just keep happening around him, and he's just kind of like being pushed through it. Throughout it. It's just this really offbeat, but not hyper weird movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It's such an engaging and cracking watch. Like the opening bit with the kid who Clive, who is trying to essentially bribe him to change his grade, and he's like, "No, I'm not taking that." He's saying, "It's not mine." He's going, "No, it is. I know what you're doing." And he's going, "No, I haven't left that there." And he's like, "You have left that there." And he's going, No, it's yours. It's like, "No, it's not mine. It's yours. You've left it here. I know what you're doing." He's going, No, you take that. It's like, "No, I don't want to take it, but it's yours." It's like, "No." And then eventually he just does. Yeah, a cracking film. And you need to go and see the Rabbi Mershak. He'll know what to do. And then eventually he does go and see him, and he just talks complete fucking crap to him. It's, yeah. If anyone else has been sat on rewatching The Serious Man, please don't sit on it any longer. It's a real, just deeply black comedy that is a real good time.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. Because I remembered this week to ask questions.
Yeah, you did good.
I have asked questions, and we've had some good ones back, as we always do. Bex is currently out of the room, so I'm kind of stalling for time a little bit, but she's on her way back. So yeah, Rick Kidd asked us, given his recent passing, what are your favourite Michael Gambon films?
I enjoy him in Layer Cake.
He's very good in Layer Cake, yeah.
I mean, there's a right answer to this, and I'll let you have it because you mentioned it earlier.
No, you can take it as well.
The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover is pinnacle for me. Like, it's a fucking fantastic movie. But I do also really enjoy him in Sleepy Hollow. Because I do really enjoy Sleepy Hollow. But he's great in that. He lends a gravity to a really daft film. To a really Edward Scissorhandsy kind of performance from Johnny Depp, and then he's like, it's weighty.
I mean, for me, my answer would be Cook, the Thief, Wife, and Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. Because he's just a force of just unpleasantness in that film.
Yeah.
And then there was another one that I remembered, and I've already forgotten which one it was. Toys. He's really fucking good in Toys.
He's really good in Toys, yeah.
You know, and they were like back to back, I think, those movies. I think they released, like, I think he made them like within a couple of years of each other.
Got a really good, like, bad guy Zed name in it, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's called
Ziva.
General Leland Ziva, yeah. Yeah, Toys is a good film. I remember seeing that a couple of times at the cinema, actually.
I love Toys.
Yeah. Right. Dylan Black Lanterns. After catching the screening of The Exorcist, sore subject, isn't it that, Rebecca?
It is a sore subject. Fucking Cineworld.
At the Light in Sheffield, I left and found myself in the middle of Freshers' weekend. Just total carnage everywhere. Souped up cars back to back, and guys with bad haircuts and bros in fake tan flooding the streets. So my question is, have you ever left a screening and found out the gates of hell have opened up around you, or some other weird
Oh,
shit?
fuck. God, there's a question. Well, kinda, but basically because when I used to be a projectionist, like, oftentimes I'd be getting out right in just the fucking worst times on, like, a Friday or Saturday night in Cardiff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, technically it's a little bit of a cheat 'cause it's me finishing work, but it would be during a screening. I mean, yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, like, to be fair with Cardiff, like, if it's like the spicy end of a Six Nations, it like even if it's like a Saturday afternoon about 5:30, 6, it can be fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
In Cardiff city centre, like about a minute walk away from the Cineworld is a area of Cardiff affectionately known as Chippy Alley, which is just the creme de la creme of I am not going to look anyone in the eye. I am just going to walk straight on and hope no one fucking throws anything in my near direction.
Fair.
I love the Welsh. But I mean they are just as bad as a lot of the UK where it comes to louty behaviour when too much alcohol has been consumed.
Yeah, I think that's a very British thing, I think, sadly.
Yeah. So yeah, God, I remember going to the Cineworld to see something on a Saturday afternoon. I got out about like 5:30. It was the last day of the Six Nations, and it was just a fucking pigsty.
Oh, Bex.
The one that springs to mind for me is when me and Isabel went to see Day of the Doctor at the cinema at City Screen.
Oh, the
Doctor
Who thing,
special, yeah. So she'll be like 9. Came out of the cinema, had a really nice time, blah blah. But it's on Coney Street, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
It opens out into like there's Revolutions, is it called, and Pitch and Piano,
and there was just an awful lot of like day drinking and hen parties that had obviously been going on, and it was just like, I think when your child encounters seriously drunk people for the first time and is just like, what is going on? What's wrong with everybody? It's a bit like eye-opening. So yeah, that's the one that springs to mind for me. It was fucking just like, I felt like really embarrassed for everybody, and I'd like normally when I see drunk people in town, I'm just like, yeah, they're having a good time, but like it makes you see it through different eyes, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I had one where there was like carnage, but I had one when I went to see Inland Empire. It started at just after 9 o'clock at night, so it didn't finish. It's 3 hours long. It didn't finish till just after midnight. And I'd been in the cinema watching. I think it was a bit late. I think it was nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. It finished, and then having seen that, and then walked out, and it was a full moon. I remember that, so everything was like really lit up. I'd just been a bit like, I don't really know what's going on. I'm really tired. I think I'd been at work at like 6 in the morning and then gone.
Bad film to have seen to then come out.
Yeah.
Like, that discombobulation as well.
I think I was tired. I think I was on like some form of like medication as well, and I was just spaced out and was just like, I didn't really know what was happening. And I think I even set off to walk home in like the wrong direction. I was just confused.
Bless you.
ZZ said, never been a Marvel fan, but around Infinity/Endgame time they had me interested. But what's gone wrong for the franchise? Overexposure, lack of Tony Stark, even you three seem enthusiastic. Thoughts?
Oh, interesting, even us three. I feel like we've been unenthusiastic about the MCU for several years at this point.
Yeah.
But that's also just the written word, so if I'm reading into that incorrectly, you have my apologies. I think it's a mixture of those things that the person just said there. Who was it again, sorry?
They are credited as ZZ on Twitter.
ZZ. Alright, sorry. Yeah, ZZ. So it's... Yeah, look, there is too much, you know. The TV shows have got, like, largely come and gone. Loki season 2 starts on Friday, and they are, I don't know about you guys, they seem to be promoting the fuck out of that way more than they were some of the others.
Oh yeah, we got a trailer for it before both movies, I believe, that we saw today.
Okay. Yeah, and that I don't remember there being nearly as much for Secret Invasion or She-Hulk or AN other of these. And it just things are cyclical, and unless there's quality mixed with treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen in terms of not giving people too much, then it's a difficult thread to needle, and I feel like they're not threading it very well at the moment. The Marvels has got an awful lot of pressure riding on it. And the trailer for that has some fucking... I like Nia DaCosta. It has some real shot on a fucking green screen in a car park in Georgia vibes to it. The space stuff looks awful.
Ant-Man, though.
No, fair play. No, not nearly as much as Quantumania, which was this year.
Yeah. I still haven't watched it.
But the big problem for me is we watched that trailer, didn't we? The Marvels trailer.
Yeah.
And you said, actually, that looks quite good. And I said, yeah, but you'll have to watch fucking Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, I'll just watch a 2-minute YouTube catch up.
They've basically made it inaccessible for anybody that isn't wanting to commit their fucking life to it. Basically, I think as well you've got to factor in the fact that there's a big come down after Endgame. It was such a fucking run to get to Endgame of great movies, and then all of a sudden they're introducing new characters and characters you love have gone.
That was it. There was this crescendo, and then they seemed to think that they could get away with just continuing playing the music, and it's like, no, you've kind of got to start a new fucking opera.
Yeah. The output's just been weak in comparison.
I solely blame it on the fact that there's TV shows.
Yeah.
They've fucked it. It's lost its grandeur because no matter what, golden fucking heyday of TV and all this bullshit, but people associate. The thing is, Marvel don't make the amount of money that they make off these movies by people like us watching them. They make it off people having it as that's the 3 or 4 cinema trips they do a year.
Yeah.
Going. And if you bring it down to Marvel is a TV product now, not a cinema product.
Well, also the 3 or 4 cinema trip a year people aren't going to watch 3 TV series to prep
But
for a movie.
Even if they do, that's it. A small percentage of them will, but the other percentage of them won't. And it's kind of like, do you know what? I can't. There's fatigue. It ran out. They essentially just thought that they could, like I say, just continue churning out hit out a hit and then just take over the TV market as well. And it doesn't work like that. Their hubris ran out.
The thing is, if you've got something like, I think you could get away with like a WandaVision kind of TV show where it's a bit of a bottle universe kind of thing, and then you could have had that just as a thing that happened in her life, but it doesn't then feed into the movies. But if they were unrelated, additional content that people could watch, but you didn't need to watch,
like the Star Wars things.
Yeah.
But then people have said about what's the latest one?
Loki?
No,
Ahsoka.
That's very much you'll be all right with it, but if you knew all of this, you'll get more out of it.
It leans very, very heavily on Star Wars Rebels, which is the 4-season animated series.
There you go. That's the problem. They've tried to go, well, we don't just want the cake. We also want the fucking we want every single meal, and we want all of your snacks as well. And they basically just wanted everything. And it fucked it, and it cheapened it. And
you are right. They've made their content. They've made their output. less special.
Because what it did, it didn't drag the TV shows up to being like 8-part movies. It's what it's done is it's made their movies
drag them down
to looking like TV specials. You know, like we say quite a lot. You know, I haven't watched it, so I can't comment on Ant-Man Quantumania, but one of the reasons why I haven't watched it is it doesn't look in any way like it has anything tactile to it visually. You are watching an animated movie. You are watching essentially a computer game that you can't play.
And I mean, Bob Iger said himself, like, I mean, to be, you know, it's become less special, and we need to pump the brakes on these things. And you know, obviously we've had the strikes going on, so not a lot's been getting made anyway. But where's Eternals 2?
Yeah, doesn't feel like
you know, where's Shang-Chi 2? Like, Shang-Chi did well.
Yep.
Where the fuck is the sequel to that?
No one's mentioning it.
You know,
no one's even asking where is the sequel to it. People are just going. I mean, it's just ticking along. We what? The next one's a Captain America without Captain America.
Yeah, and you know, we'll see how that goes. But then that will probably require people to have an understanding of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But then, you know, I've said before, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, the way Elizabeth Olsen's character starts in Multiverse of Madness makes fuck all sense when you've watched WandaVision.
Yeah, I literally had to turn around to Becky during it and go, "What the fuck's going on here?" Because you'd watched WandaVision, and I have no interest. It's homework. 8 hours of fucking homework to watch a movie.
Looking through Phase 4, there's one good movie in there.
Which?
Shang-Chi.
I didn't really like Shang-Chi.
Well, then there's no good movies in there for you.
Eternals.
But I mean,
Eternals is shit,
but this is the thing. It's the homework aspect is real, because you know it's. I think of like the Empire spoiler specials, where you know they branched out of movies and started doing recaps and discussions of 40 minutes of TV every week, and it's a bit. There's what audience actually wants that? I don't think it's a very large audience. Like, people will rock up 4 times a year, watch this shit, really enjoy it, and you'll get people embracing that. But the more that there is to it, and the more convoluted these things go, and the more that they start putting in Easter eggs and fan theories, and it just becomes like, okay, now you're also going to be watching 20-minute YouTube videos dissecting a fucking trailer and stuff. And it's too much for most people who, I don't know, have jobs and responsibilities in their lives to get sucked. Like, God forbid you like something else.
That's it. I tried watching a bit of Secret Invasion, and I stopped watching it because I was watching going, this is a boring ITV drama that happens to have Sam Jackson occasionally in it, but I don't believe I believe he entered a room, filmed all his scenes, and then left that room.
But like the knock-on impact of that show is probably going to be in films next year. But you're not going to have any fucker going back to Secret Invasion to watch it to know. Like, Secret Invasion feels like a bit, not exactly last ditch, but a bit of a, right, let's just put stars into it and see if that works. Like, Olivia Colman is in the MCU. She's an Oscar-winning actress, and like, recently, and cool, she's just gonna be a character in a 6-part TV show. Lord knows if she'll ever be back in the MCU again, and if she is, people are going to be going, who the fuck's this? Mm-hmm. Well done, everyone.
Yep. Just...
I get bored talking about the MCU, by the way. I hate fucking talking about it.
They need to really just, like... I worry. I don't think that they can turn this ship around now.
I don't either. No.
I think it's in too much of a rocky waters.
Endgame was great. Endgame was it was a miracle and the culmination of like a decade's worth of storytelling that felt joined up. It felt purposeful.
Yeah, it's just all over the place.
Nothing they've done after feels like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, it all feels like filler while they work out what the fuck to do next.
And basically, it's in case of emergency, break the X-Men glass.
Yeah, which they're going to do.
Yeah.
John Dangerfield, it's Halloween month. What horror rewatches will you be including this month?
I mean, we're going to be doing some for the next time we record, I believe.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about. I want to do all the Rings, US and American, and I've never actually seen Rings, so look forward to talking about that probable piece of shit in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
don't save any for October because I just watch horror all the time. The only one that I am quite strict with, like quite adamant that I want to watch before Halloween this year because I haven't been able to do it for the last couple of years is Trick or Treat. Because it's never on anything.
Nice.
And I fucking love Trick or Treat.
Yeah,
that's a good show.
Yeah, I'll do Trick or Treat. Usually end up watching Candyman at some point or other Halloween.
Yeah.
And I might again rewatch Halloween. We usually do Halloween, don't we? So yeah, there's not that many possibly because, like I say, you can often make me watch horror all the time. Well, that segues quite nicely into what are we covering next week? Yeah, next week.
Next week, Mark and Becky, Your Mother Sucks Cocks in Hell. The Exorcist films.
Yep, all of them.
I'm so pumped for it.
Including Exorcist the Beginning and Dominion prequel to The Exorcist.
Yep.
The same film-ish.
Yep.
Made by two completely different directors.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to rewatching those. We actually watched Dominion quite a lot, didn't we? Back in the day. It used to be one of our We've Got Home and We're Tipsy with the takeaway films, didn't it?
Dominion prequel to The Exorcist directed by Paul Schrader was your we're tipsy and need to stick something on film.
Yeah.
I think we're taking them on holiday with us, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna watch some. We're taking them on holiday. We're gonna probably watch some of them at some point. Yeah.
Some balcony watches.
Yeah, balcony watches.
Yeah.
Nice.
Freak everyone out on the other balconies.
Yeah.
Love that for us.
Yeah. Right.
With our daily restocked mini fridge full of wine.
Nice. But as a programming note, like I'll probably get this out in the next few days. It might be a little while then until the Exorcist one. So I think we're probably not going to be able to record till like a week Wednesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be a couple of weeks from when you hear this that we're back with that.
Yeah.
Well, this is basically
we'll
our next Wednesday recording,
see how it goes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
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 So we're not.
It's just the fact that we're recording on a Sunday, so I'll probably get this out a little bit earlier in the week than I otherwise would. So there'll just be probably a bit of a gap.
But we're not stiffing you guys. You're still getting the same amount.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was episode 510. I think we did well on that. Say we had like 4 days to prepare.
I think we did all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did pretty damn good. Well, thank you very much, Rebecca,
Thanks, Mark.
and thank you very much, Ian.
Do you know what she did? Your cunting daughter.
What?
What? You broke up a little bit there. We just got cunting daughter.
Yeah.
Do you know what you did? What? Oh fuck! I fucked it up. Do you know what she did? Your cunting daughter.
I actually genuinely thought that you were talking about our daughter then.
Yeah.
She's
She
a
is.
bit of a cunt.
She is a bit of a cunt. Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
We shall speak to you next week, kind of. Next time.
In the future.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.